Ahoy from BA. This is a Rorschach Ocean update from the 29th of July 2025. A summary of what's going down in the 70% surface of the Earth covered in salt water. For hard-sinking news this Tuesday the 29th, Yemen's Houthi group confirmed they are holding 10 crew members from the Greek-operated cargo ship Eternity Sea, which sank in the Red Sea after a drone and grenade attack. The vessel was reportedly en route to Saudi Arabia after delivering aid to Somalia, though Houthis said it was headed to Israel. A video of the captives thanking their captors under duress sparked concern. This marks the second sinking off Yemen this month and signals a renewed Houthi campaign targeting companies linked to Israeli ports. Fueling our week this Monday, the 28th, the U.S. Department of the Interior has greenlit offshore oil production in the U.S.'s Santa Ynez unit after a 10-year halt. Sable Offshore Corp, which acquired the site from ExxonMobil in February, has restarted operations in the unit's platform Harmony, with Heritage and Hondo to follow. The project could produce up to 30,000 barrels a day by year-end. The restart supports the U.S. administration's energy dominance push. Critics highlight environmental concerns, but federal safety regulators say the relaunch has met modern standards. That's a major shift in Pacific oil dynamics, and it's happening fast. Heading to a scuffle in the Indian Ocean, this Friday the 25th, India has stepped back from the salvage of the fire-damaged cargo ship One High 503, nearly 2 months after a deadly explosion off Kerala's coast. The vessel, now 90 nautical miles from Galle, lies outside India's jurisdiction. Responsibility now falls to Singapore. Talks continue about sheltering the vessel at Sri Lanka's Hambantota port, though approval remains uncertain. While the cargo still smolders, the fire is under control and the ship is stable. Salvors plan a 2-phase operation near the port. Lingering fears persist due to the Express Pearl disaster, a nitric acid leak, and subsequent fire that sank the ship and caused $1 billion fallout in Sri Lanka. On Monday the 28th, Hutchison Ports kicked off a massive $100 million upgrade at Freeport Container Port in Grand Bahama. Last week, the terminal received a new shuttle and straddle carriers, with more equipment set to arrive through 2026, including 4 semi-automated super cranes. The overhaul, the largest in the terminal's nearly 30-year history, will boost cold chain storage, increase container capacity, and improve digital infrastructure. The company also opened bids for major civil works, including paving and electrical upgrades. CEO Godfrey Smith said the project aims to modernize operations, create jobs, and support long-term growth in the Bahamas. For some interesting development in response to tariffs, this Tuesday the 29th, cargo clients in North America are adjusting their logistics strategies in response to rising U.S. tariffs, and it's catching insurers' attention. Some are stockpiling goods in warehouses to avoid tariffs, which inflates their value and risks, prompting higher liability limit requests. While shipping routes haven't drastically changed, more clients are exploring alternative markets and supply chains. Meanwhile, on Tuesday the 29th, Papua New Guinea ramped up its fight against illegal fishing by hosting a high-seas boarding and inspection training in Rabaul from the 21st to the 25th of July. 40 officers from both the National Fisheries Authority and Defense Force joined theory and hands-on sessions on vessel inspection. The training aimed to boost compliance with conservation rules in the Western and Central Pacific and foster teamwork between defense, fisheries, and industry players. Supported by New Zealand, Australia, and the World Bank, the initiative strengthens regional enforcement and prepares crews for high-seas patrols aboard Papua New Guinea's latest Guardian-class patrol boats. More news on fisheries. A new global study published on Thursday the 24th revealed that strict marine protections actually work. Researchers used satellites and AI to track illegal fishing in over 1,000 marine protected areas, or MPAs. Results showed nearly 80% had no industrial fishing, and stronger protections meant far fewer violations. Surprisingly, most illegal fishing lasted under 24 hours per year. Scientists say these zones not only boost fish populations inside, but also help nearby fisheries. The key takeaway: the stricter the protection, the more benefits, ecological and economic. On another note, in the icy Southern Sea, news came out on Tuesday the 29th saying that record-breaking krill catch near Antarctica has nearly reached the seasonal limit of 620,000 tons, threatening an early fishery closure. The surge follows the collapse of an international deal to expand fishing protections around the Antarctic Peninsula. Conservationists warn that concentrated trawling harms whales, seals, and penguins. Also, krill's role in carbon sequestration is vital. China and the UK blame each other for the failed talks, leaving outdated limits to expire. Krill demand, especially for oil and supplements, continues to rise, fueling environmental concerns. A news article by media outlet Marine Insight that came out on Thursday the 24th said that, according to the results of a new study, the North Atlantic contains about 27 million tons of nanoplastics, tiny plastic particles less than 1 micrometer wide. That's more than all the visible ocean plastic on Earth combined. Researchers from the Royal Netherlands Institute for Sea Research and Utrecht University made the discovery using samples collected aboard the RV Pelagia. Scientists warn that the plastics, too small to see or remove, have likely entered the marine food chain and possibly human bodies. The team stressed the urgent need to stop plastic pollution at its source, as these particles are now widespread and effectively permanent. From news about tasteless toxins to tasty treats, on Friday the 25th, Rhineland-Westphalian Electricity Works, a major offshore wind developer, and the oyster restoration company wrapped up a successful feasibility project proving large-scale oyster reef restoration is possible at wind farms in the North Sea. Native oysters are vital to marine ecosystems, but only 5% of their population remains due to pollution and overfishing. The project, tested in Scotland, trialed substrates like shells and bricks for reef building. Both partners say it's now practical and scalable. The breakthrough supports biodiversity goals and sets the stage for restoration efforts across the UK and European waters. Exploring the future of naval technology, the next-gen underwater drone, Remote Environmental Monitoring Units, or REMUS 620, just passed a major test, proving it can be deployed from a US Navy submarine torpedo tube. The trial, led by the Naval Undersea Warfare Center and Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, confirmed the system's fit with Virginia-class submarines. Outfitted with yellow moray docking tech, the drone paves the way for stealthier missions and longer deployments. Over 90% of REMUS drones sold in the last 2 decades are still active, showing its durability and strategic edge. Full in-water trials are up next later this summer. Taking it deeper underwater, on Tuesday the 29th, Nauticus Robotics and Advanced Ocean Systems, or AOS, signed a multi-year agreement to jointly accelerate maritime autonomy tech. The partnership blends Nauticus's underwater robot Aquanaut with AOS's remote systems expertise. Trials will begin at AOS's Lake facility in the US, aiming to improve subsea operations by integrating autonomous underwater vehicles with uncrewed surface vessels. Both companies hope to improve offshore safety, efficiency, and sustainability. Nauticus CEO John Gibson said that the deal challenges old industry models, while AOS's John Jacobson called it a timely step towards scalable, tech-driven ocean work. Finishing with good news, News broke out this Monday, the 28th, that researchers in Italy are developing new metamaterials to tackle underwater noise pollution. Funded by the European Research Council, the Poseidon project focuses on thin, lightweight structures that can block or redirect sound underwater, a major step forward since traditional barriers are bulky and often harm the environment. These intelligent materials work not by chemical composition but by smart geometry. The project also sparked the launch of the DREAM project, Design of Resilient Engineered Architectured Metamaterials, a follow-up initiative to apply these innovations in seismic wave control and energy harvesting. Both are led by Professor Marco Miniacci at Politecnico di Torino. And that's it for this week. Thank you for joining us. Want to pass along an episode? Go to www.rorschach.com/ocean and download any of the shows as MP3 files. Link in the show notes. See you next week.